All right, this is going to be a video that goes over how to add custom text to a specific project. And you'll have to open up CorelDRAW. You can see I've got a blank file here. I'm actually going to go and do File New. And I'm going to choose, let's just say I chose 6x6 again. I think we did that in our last activity. Let's say that I did not want a 6x6 square. Okay. Let's say that I wanted to add a sticker to the back of my cell phone case. Well, you would need to know the size of that. You'd have to measure it, and you would have to then make this workspace the same size as that to match. So I've got my phone in front of me and I have measured it. And so I'm going to make space that is 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. So this is like a blank space on my phone. You know, up here would be the camera. There's a little blank space here too, but this is a nice spot where I could maybe put um, some sort of a sticker. Okay. So I've measured and I've changed my workspace to the right size. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add, think about what we want to add to that. What we want to add to the back of that. What text do we want to put? And so I'm going to be pretty generic here. Let's just put our last name. So I'm going to click on the A, and then of course I'm going to just click, and I'm going to put my last name. And right off the bat, I know it's too small, so I'm going to make it a little bigger. I don't like the font. I'm going to go ahead and choose maybe something. I don't know. Let's scroll through here and find a font that looks there. That was kind of something a little different. Okay, so this is called Grinched, and it kind of fits in there all right. Let's say that my name was, I don't know, let's go, maybe it was Rudiger, and it didn't fit on there all that great. And so when I shrink it down, I've got all this unused space. One thing with the text tool that's nice is that not only can we scale it up and down, I wouldn't want to do that. That would look a little weird. If I left click on it, well, actually, I'm going to have to go to the pick tool, and I get the grips that go around it. If I left click one time, the grips turn to arrows. And that means that I can now rotate. And I'm still in the pick tool, but when I click again, it goes back to something I can scale. Okay. And I can still scale it up and down. Okay. And I could click again and I could rotate. Okay. So this is really a helpful tool to kind of get things lined up the way we want them. You can still edit your text. I'm going to go back to just Rue. And I'm going to try rotate it back where it was, maybe a little bit off like that. That looks pretty good. There we go. All right. So now the application of this project is just a one color sticker. So what I really want is for my text to be no fill. So that's the left click on the X. And then I'm going to right click on really any color. Just, it could be red, it could be blue, it doesn't matter. This is really what's going to get cut out by our vinyl cutter. And it should be hairline. So if for some reason it is not hairline, maybe it was an 8 point, we can always highlight it and choose hairline. Okay. So I could, I'm one step closer to being able to make this custom sticker. But let's go over one other option that we have here. So I'm just going to move this over and we're going to use another tool. We're going to actually go into this ellipse command and we're going to draw, you can draw a circle or an oval. It doesn't really matter. Let's draw something that looks kind of like that. There we go. Now, why I'm using a circle is because I'm going to actually put text on the outside of this arc. It's just it might come in handy for this project or a project down the road where you can actually put text on a curve. So let's, with the circle already drawn, let's get back into the text command. And let's keep an eye on my cursor. Okay. It's a cross with an A. And when I go near the outline of this, notice that it goes to edge. Okay. There's an A with a swirl on it. And then there's a sort of a boxed in letter. So as I go to different places, it goes between those two things. All right. So remember how we said text boxes we don't want to use? Well, this right, if I were to click right now, what's going to happen is that circle turns into a text box, which I guess if we were making some sort of an ornament and we wanted to have it filled with text, I guess maybe that would be handy. But I don't want to use that. All right. What I want to use is I want that letter with the swirl on it right there. Okay. And the cursor goes right to the outside. And I'm going to go ahead and type my name again. I can highlight just the name and I can choose a different font. I can stretch it out and make it bigger. I could put spaces between it. Another thing that we're going to play around with here is you can change the font, like the spacing and all of that. But let's actually change the geometry of this ellipse. And we can do that with the pick tool. So I'm going to pick the circle and I'm actually going to pick on it twice so I can rotate it. And then I can stretch it or make it skinnier. Now, it might not seem like it's doing what you want it to do, but really what I'm going to do now is I'm going to double click on my text and now I'm going to just use the space bar to get it in the right direction. And what if my name, again, it's kind of short, so it's hard to see. Rudiger, there we go. Now it's a little bit longer. And let's say I wanted to get that. There we go. I'm going to rotate that like so. I'm going to maybe make this a little bit smaller. So there's lots of playing around you can do with this to get it to be right. And it follows it. There we go. All right, let's say that that's what I wanted it to do. I wanted it to follow that arc. I want to get it ready for final cutout. So now let's go back to our concepts of fill and outline. While right now the circle is highlighted, the circle does not have a fill, although I could give it a fill, but I don't want to. And I don't want to see the circle either. I'm just going to right click on that X. I'll go ahead and highlight my text. I'm going to give it no fill and give it an outline. So now I've got two different ways that I've shown how we can add text. We can do it on a curve. We can just do it straight and rotate it and play with it in a couple different ways. So hopefully this will be easily you'll be easily able to make a sticker, your first one color sticker, and get that design ready to go.